Welcome back to the Sideline Report. Marvin Jackson, Winston, Hylton, Donna, Hopkins, and we are joined by, for my money, the best athletic director in the CIAA, and surely the best dressed, Mr. Clyde Doughty.
Most definitely.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
All right. Bowie State in the NCAA Division II playoffs and going for that national title, man. Talk about this team and what they meant to the school this year.
Well, let's go back 2 years ago when we got into the NCAA playoffs against Assumption, and it was something that we worked for at that time, and we really weren't experienced enough to understand the gravity of the situation. Fast forward into 2 years playing in the CIAA championship, coming up a little short. This year we were on a mission, and that mission was to first win the CIAA, which we came up a little short in a tough game against Virginia State. But now getting to this national picture is something that now exposes Bowie State University and the community of Prince George's County to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. And to be able to host it is something that is really special for our fan base. So we're looking forward to the opportunity and the moment.
And this is the first time that Bowie State has actually hosted a playoff.
Yeah, football playoff game.
We've
hosted in football.
We've done it in basketball,
but this is the first time we've done it in football. So it's a real honor to have this, going through the conference calls and looking at all the details and things we'd have to work out. So it's really special, and everybody's really excited about the opportunity, students, alumni, the community. So we're looking forward to having a good showing on Saturday.
So give a little information on the time and where the game will be played.
Well, the game will be played right on campus in what I could call it the Dog Pound, right on there on 114,000 Jericho Park Road in Bowie, Maryland, and the game is at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, you know what? Bowie is a scoring machine. They need to give some information to the Redskins about getting into the end zone a little bit. But talk a little bit about the last 3 years, because you talked about getting there and not understanding that. But what's been the formula? Because you all have been successful for these back-to-back years, and you're here again.
Donna, it's the consistency. Our coaching staff has remained intact. Coach Wilson does a good job of mentoring the young men, and now that winning breeds success. So I always say wins are finite, success is eternal. So we're having success, and every year we've built upon that. So folks now are starting to see, look, they like the style of play. Our offensive coordinator, Mo Ware, plays an up-tempo game. We have an outstanding quarterback, as you know,
yes,
in Amir Hall, who puts the ball up. Robin Chesham is a force in the backfield with his record-setting performance against Elizabeth City last week. So we have a lot of fun. We've got young receivers and Britton and a few others out there who are catching the ball. Yes, absolutely. Man. So you put those folks out on the field, and there's not one area that the defense can concentrate on. Mm-hmm. They got to stop the run. They got to stop the pass. Even when they do kind of stop the pass, our quarterback gets out and he can run down the field. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like our offensive coordinator say, up in the morning, first downs to touchdowns, and here we go.
I want that formula for the Redskins, all of that.
I think the Bulldogs average probably the most points a game in Division II, if I'm not mistaken.
They're there. Yeah. They've set records for yards and passing, and it's just been a total offensive showcase this year.
And as we see some highlights there, Amir Hall is probably one of the top quarterbacks in the country. I even mentioned to Doug Williams after a Redskin game, I said, have you seen the Bowie State quarterback? And he said, oh, yeah, you mean Amir? Yeah. You know, he knows him by first name. I mean, so this guy is a player. He is a quarterback.
And, you know, he was destined for the CIAA Player of the Year, but the young man from Virginia State had a phenomenal year.
He had a phenomenal year. And he's a great player that I think can play on Sundays also.
Yeah,
Trent Cannon
is a really fine student athlete.
So, and he's a great student,
everything. So they're having a special year. And it's really gratifying to see two CIAA teams in the playoffs hosting at the same time. So that's something I don't think has been done ever before in the CIAA history. So it's shaping up to be a good time for the CIAA, the resilient CIAA.
Coach, you talk about a lot of those names that you mentioned, Hall and Cisse, a lot of those names that you mentioned are from this area. Talk about Coach Wilson and his recruiting job to keep some of these guys at home, because Prince George's County is a hotbed of talent, no matter, not only in football, basketball, all over the place. So talk about his efforts in keeping some of these kids at home and that pitch to come to Bowie State.
It's a real, well, first of all, we have a great education base. So we try to sell that first and foremost, because we want these young men and women who come to Bowie State to graduate in a short period of time, the 4-year to 5-year time, so they can go on with their lives. That's first and foremost. Second of all, with the base and our scholarship base right there, we try to go out and recruit people in the area, because like you said, it's a wealth of athletic talent in our area. A lot of times young people want to get away from the area too, so it's hard to keep them there.
Away from home?
Away from home. They want to get away from mom. I've been here all my life. They want to venture out. And that does happen, but a lot of them come back home. So it's important to know that we still here, even if you don't decide to come to Bowie State, we still will welcome you with open arms if you do come back. But we have done a better job, and winning breeds that type of association that people want to be affiliated with a winner.
He's smart, and you want to get back at Virginia State, don't you?
Well,
you can see it on his face, right? It's burning there.
I want to get back. We had our shot and we came up a little short, but I want to get back to the next opponent in front of us. That's and if Virginia State is in our way, then they're just going to we'll face them and move right on.
That's a good PC answer.
Yeah. Talking about local talent, we have a great kicker also who was first team special team player in the CIAA, and he's a local guy. And his mother and father were Bowie State graduates.
Yep.
And it was hard to keep this guy here at Bowie, but he's outstanding.
He's following legacy. He's doing a great job. You can see his confidence from as a freshman to a sophomore build, from the beginning of the season to where he's at now. And he's, if we had to depend on him to get out there and kick a last-second field goal, we have 100% confidence in that he can accomplish the task.
Yeah.
This is just a fun time for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what's the week like leading up to this game this Saturday?
Well, it's business. They have to take care of business. You're only as good as your last victory. So we've won to this point to get to this point. So now we got to continue if we want to move forward. So everyone's got to do their job. And we talk about Amir and Chessam and the receivers. It starts with the line. Those guys are fun.
Hello. Can you say that again?
We used to call the Redskins offensive line hogs. What do we call them? The dogs.
The dogs. And the
dogs.
I call them Big Daddy moves, because they just move everybody out the way, and they do a great job at what they do. Coach Reddick has them ready, and they're huge and they're big and they're hungry. Those dogs are hungry.
What did he say? Agile, mobile, and hostile. That's the way they are. Man, those guys are great.
I mean, campus has to be fun this week, too. I mean, the student body and everything. I'm sure the banners are up and pep rallies and all of that stuff leading up to the game.
It's kind of low-key, because there's an expectation that these guys are good and that we don't need all of that. We're just going to go out and do what we do every week.
They don't need all of that.
So people are buzzing about it, but they're really confident. They're practicing hard. I really haven't seen them around. They're just taking care of business.
I like that.
Yeah, they're taking care of business. They're focused. They're focused.
We're going to have to, we've gotten to the end of the show. We got to make a wrap. But Delta State better watch out, huh? Delta State out of Mississippi, we're going to send them on back down south, right?
Yes.
Gonna send them on back south.
With the SSIPPI intact.
All right. Winston, Hylton, and Donna Hopkins, great work as always. You guys are great. And thank you so much, Clyde, for coming here. And all the best.
Yes, good
luck.
Good luck.
Bulldogs. Go Bulldogs.
That's right. And go out and support the Bowie State Bulldogs as they begin their journey towards a possible national championship against Delta State at Bulldog Stadium Saturday at 1 o'clock. I'm Marvin Jackson. We'll see you next time.